there, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, we run the gambit of street heroes to Avengers level threats in the newest arrival to the hero shooter genre. So get ready to cowl up and throw down as we aim for greater heights in this exciting new episode of Beyond the Medium. Episode 3 Marvel Rivals, a hero for hero shooters. Alright, so yeah, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about Marvel Rivals. Got quite a lot of thoughts on the game, so I say let's just go into it. You want to go ahead and start us off, or you want me to take it away?
I got a couple things to say.
Okay, go ahead.
To, to anyone holding on to the hopes of Overwatch succeeding, it's a dead game. Just give up. Just start playing Marvel Rivals already.
The
Just hop
first
on.
thing you're gonna say, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's so funny, bro.
That's going to be the first thing I have to say because there's a lot of people like, Overwatch is still good, guys, right? Nah, You don't have as a dynamic roster of characters as many characters that debuted at launch for free. I don't have to wait, 4 months for one motherfucking character, and I'm like, I don't want to play as this dude. I'm still going to play as the big old scary robot guy or Genji. No, I have a whole roster of characters I would like to play as,
You are
except for Magic.
absolutely spitting facts right now. But I do think we should save the comparison to Overwatch for a little bit later, and maybe focus on the game itself first. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
But I think the big thing I do want to talk about is the characters.
Okay.
These
Um,
guys.
just to organize it first, right? What were your initial impressions of the game the first time you played it, right?
So before the game came out, I saw leaks of it, and there was like there's just a picture of the characters, and I was like, holy shit, this is fake. Ain't no way there's going to be a Marvel's hero shooter. And I was like, dude, the art is so stylized. Is this AI? And then, eventually, yeah, the game was a real thing. I was totally stunned. I was like, oh, I thought this was some dude on Twitter, making jokes, making memes, making it funny, like, aha, guys, what if there was a Marvel shooter hero game? But as I looked into it, I was like, oh, that's a decent roster of characters. I want to try it out.
It's a pretty good
And
fucking roster on.
and the first character I had to try out was motherfucking Venom. And I felt like Venom,
I think that was
despite
that was also the first character I tried as well.
I was like, I want to play as the big, evil, scary Spider-Man character.
Yeah.
And I did like the kit that he had. You have his despite, not being able to fucking fling around like as constant as you would want to, it's still nice to have the swing ability and then the big motherfucking slam.
Right.
Um I did wish, he had more attacks other than the tentacles. Doesn't really feel like Venom,
Melee.
but yeah, it doesn't really feel like Venom, but whatever, you have to work with what you have to work with. Not
Yeah,
to
that's
cross
true.
not to cross over other characters to make them feel different. But I
Yeah.
was happy. I was happy with how the controls played. I liked the effects. The kit made sense for the one character, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to play as Tank, as you do in these games. You're like, okay, I just want to play as one character.
Right.
But the cool thing about this game is that there are other cool characters and all the other roles. So for people who don't know or are not as informed of the game, you have your tanks, which are called vanguards, which are like the big guys that take DPS and hold the
Hold the line. Yeah.
line. You have your duelists, which is your DPS dealers. They're not as yeah, they hold the line and they kill shit. And then you have your strategists who are your healers. And usually I don't like playing a support. I like being big guy who takes damage or being the guy who does damage. But the ability of making me migrate over to play other roles is awesome in a game because
That
typically
was that something that like in Overwatch, did you ever feel like you could migrate over to different roles, or did you just kind of
no,
stick with the character that you liked?
I just stuck with a character that I like just because one simple aspect, character design. I think that's a big appeal in this game. All the characters have like a traditional feel to them, but they've been modernized in their own style that NetEase has beautifully done. They're super stylized. I like the exaggeration of the characteristics and the fact that I was like, oh, Rocket is a strategist. I might as well try him.
Right.
You get your little machine gun, a little BRB revive ability, and just the mobility of flying around and like wall crawling super fast like a little freak. It's fun, and I do appreciate that they had the ability to allow other people or allow players to feel like it's not a detriment to play as another role. It's very easy the transition between these characters. They're unique enough to stand out as their own individual, but I can play other roles despite besides, playing as my typical position in these kind of games.
Right. Yeah. So, just to rewind the conversation a little bit, I wanted to sort of give my thoughts on the game overall, and then I'll go into my thoughts about the roster as well because I also have a lot to say about this roster. It's really good. It's a really good roster. Um, so to me, right, with my first experience with the game, to me, Marvel Rivals was such like an unexpected, like slam dunk, you know. And it made me realize how much I missed playing Overwatch at a time
Mhm.
where superhero media is in like a really big slump right now. This game comes out and just completely fucking knocks it out of the park. I didn't even know that I wanted a game like this until I got it. In
That's
terms
true.
of the presentation, I think the game absolutely crushes it. All the heroes look awesome. The art style was what initially tempted me to try the game out. And like the game just looks like money. The way the characters like animate and like come out of the frames when you inspect them, they all have like custom videos and stuff. When you go to their hero screen, they have lore. There's they got the big ultimate flashy moves. An extremely striking art style. It's no wonder that the game is succeeding as much as it is. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And
So
the progression of playing as a character is rewarding because typically, in most of these games, like, oh, if you've gone like prestige with a character, you have like a golden weapon. Okay, I have to find that out in the game. But before you load in, someone might be a lord, which is like the highest proficiency for a character, and they have this badass emblem, and you're like, oh shit, this guy must be a fucking beast at Winter Soldier, or he's been playing a long time, which is
yeah,
the fun factor of that. I'm like, oh shit. I'm putting my hands up. I'm like, okay, I was going to play Winter Soldier, but you have the emblem. Go ahead, dude.
yeah,
Pop off.
because you can immediately see how much time that guy put into it. You know?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
the third person perspective as well. Going back to what you said about like the golden guns and stuff. That's all like I never had like much interest in that, and I think in general I couldn't stick with something like Overwatch long term because it doesn't really appeal to the kinds of games I usually play. I really liked like the hero shooting like team based competitive format where everybody has a role, but I always found the first person perspective so limiting when you had such really good character designs. You know. So
Absolutely.
in this game, uh, it's completely third person, and like all of the kits and stuff like that are tuned to each character so well, with this really cool mix of ability based combat, which can include stuff like different forms of movement, like web swinging or flight or teleportation or Doctor Strange portals and shit. You get like I said, you got the melee moves, like characters like Black Panther and Spider Man are like almost entirely melee based, and it creates this like real sense of diversity when you have so many characters too. You know, talking about the roster is awesome. I think there were 33 launch characters, and if you have like any affinity towards Marvel at all, there is a character here for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If your favorite hero isn't here, your second one is going to be here for sure. And you're going to be like, oh my God, I
And
want this
maybe he'll get added in an update because all hero updates, including the characters and stages, are completely free, like you mentioned earlier.
game.
So
Also,
that's excellent.
yeah. But like you said, all the characters are tuned perfectly to the character. It engrosses who they are truly. There's some that are a little, I feel like they could have been done a little bit better, like the Hulk.
Yeah, I agree with that one. The Hulk
I
is
feel
kind of right now.
the Hulk, when you think the Hulk, you're like, oh shit, rage, rage, motherfucking rage. And most of the time he jumps in, you're like, oh shit, he's going to go crazy, and he just kind of shits himself, and he
Yeah,
just gets up.
his tank ability in this game is like it seems like more focused on trying to survive than do big damage, which makes sense for a tank, but doesn't make sense for the Hulk, who should be fucking turning people into hamburger meat with one punch.
Yeah, even when he does his ultimate, like all you do is just back up and you let him run out, and then you just DPS him until it turns into Bruce Banner, and you and your whole team jump his ass while he just tries to run away, which is always funny when a Hulk turns into Bruce Banner.
The way, yeah. That
Yeah.
being said, sometimes, I mean, just the other night when we were playing, there was this Hulk who was tearing me up, dude. So you can get really good with characters even if they're not that. I mean, some characters are just generally more powerful than others. They have more useful like ults and abilities and stuff like that that synergize more with their team. Um, the game's not very balanced at all, but I think that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah, it definitely feels a lot of, it feels very arcadey, because
Yes,
typically in these other hero shooters, like healing is slow. You might live, you might die, but no, if healers are locked in, dude, it's going to be a fucking battle uphill. You're going to struggle if those healers on the enemy team are just relentless, and even if they start healing each other, dude, it's so hard to deal with that.
it
But
becomes very difficult to take them out at that point because they're just constantly healing each other back and forth. And yeah, that's where the team synergy comes in, though, right? You need your DPS to help you out with that. You need your tanks to pull up and start eating that damage, and you need your own support to make sure everybody doesn't fucking die.
absolutely, yeah. Which is very nice because it feels like, a whole battlefront, between, an unstoppable force versus an immovable object. And whoever slips up first, generally that decides the tide of the battle. Or if your healer dies, shit, you guys are probably gonna get fucked up. If their
Yeah,
other
you at
healers
least got
die,
to retreat or something like that at that
yeah,
point.
yeah. Unless you're playing against bots, which they forget their healer is a thing and they turn around like, "Where's my heals at, bro?"
Yeah, playing with bots. um, like you were saying before, they really nailed the feeling of playing as all these characters, and it also led me to try characters that I didn't really have any affinity for at first. Like I really like playing Adam Warlock and Loki, and I don't really care about those characters at all. But they just feel really good to play, and their powers make sense in the context of the game, where all the abilities feel very fitting. You know, Loki is a strategist, so he can heal, but he also makes clones. He can steal people's characters. Basically, you can turn into another character with a free ult whenever you use his ult. He can even like leave a clone and vanish so that he can flank and get behind the enemy team. Like, there's so much nuance and depth to each character in the game, combined with the really good character design. Like I said, it's just no wonder that the game is succeeding as much as it is.
Yeah, and it's still continuing to grow every single day on all the platforms except Xbox.
Yeah, it's got like 10 million, or I think it's over 20 million players altogether at this point.
It's an astronomical number. It's pretty high. But what's cool about this season is that four characters are dropping. Two at the first, day one launch, and two upcoming mid launch, which is very nice. I do like, the grouping of these launches of the characters, because they're the Fantastic Four,
Right.
which makes
And as of the recording of this podcast, Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic have already been added to the game. And I think the Human Torch thing will be coming later on this month. So
yeah, sometime soon. And again, most people at launch were not playing healers; they're playing DPS. But as soon as Invisible Woman pulled up, everyone started to change their mind. I've started to see a lot more
my God.
strategists pull up. It's true. It's true. There's a
It is
certain
true.
appeal.
It is true.
They had the Snow Bunny appeal, and they're like, "Damn,
Oh my God.
hey man,
Well, I mean, character design in general, though, right? Like
yeah,
you mentioned Overwatch before, but I feel like there is another low hanging fruit to pick, that being Concord. And isn't it so funny how
oh my
this game
god,
completely demolished everybody? Like a few, like was it like a month or two after Concord got clapped up? And it's so apparent to see why, because in a game based on playing as different characters, character design sells the games.
it
So
does."
you can't
And not,
make a whole bunch of uglies and act like people are going to be interested. It just doesn't make any sense.
yeah, and it had one besides the badass character designs. It had one thing over Concord. It was fucking free.
I mean,
Concord, you had to
it had
pay.
multiple things over Concord, but that is true
But,
as well.
but that's a big thing. Would
Yes.
you rather pay $40 for a game you don't know what you're going to like, or would you rather play a game for free if you don't know you're going to like or not? I'm gonna go with the game that's for free first.
Yeah. And like we said before, all the updates being free too, it kind of makes me want to buy a fucking $30 skin for Venom.
30.
Because I'm like, well, I didn't even give them any money yet, and I've played this game for like 80 hours at this point.
I'm gonna go ahead and put 1/4 of my paycheck into Marvel Rival skins. I want to get the cool emotes too for Mr. Moon Knight.
I do feel like the Battle Pass is honestly a pretty decent value. You pay, I think, $10 for this one. It used to be 5 for Season 0, but I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, $10, and then you get multiple pages of rewards. You get those daily challenges and stuff like that. Gives you a reason to keep coming back. The grind is pretty slow. The skins are quite expensive. So, but with the game being free and all the heroes being free, you don't have to buy the skins. I know just don't buy it is not like the best argument for cosmetics, but I feel like at this point, cosmetics, we knew they were going to be in the game.
Yeah.
It's a hero shooter. It makes sense that they're going to be. And with Marvel characters especially, I mean, with the comics going back as long as they have, there's fucking hundreds of costumes that you could pick for any of these characters.
I mean, you can literally do anything with them. There's so many skins and costumes that you can pull out.
I kind of
They
wish there were more unique stuff instead of having a lot of MCU skins. But all the MCU skins look pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, they made the Homecoming Spider-Man outfit look fire in this game, and that costume sucks.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that design either, with the golden spider and all that. But yeah, it looks pretty good in this game. Um, I mean, they have like for Spider-Man, for example, they got like Flip Side. They got Chasm, which would not have been my first pick for an outfit, but
Yeah,
I guess it's cool. It's different.
yeah, there's a lot of better options. Like Scarlet Spider,
With the
Iron
black
Spider,
suit.
or the black suit. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to do with that?
I mean, it's just a costume. I feel like there's no reason to not have the black suit in the game. I know he's got the team up with Venom, which is another thing to talk about, is that heroes in this game have team up abilities, which I thought was another very interesting idea.
Yeah, because it promotes you. Oh, hey, I'm playing as Moon Knight. It would be really awesome if someone plays Cloak and Dagger. Even though that team up is kind of ass, it's still kind of nice to be able to turn invisible in like a short radius.
What I
So
really like is the team ups that provide unique abilities, like Rocket and Groot having a team up where Rocket gets to climb onto his shoulder and basically act like a little turret.
or like a dedicated healer. You just look down and you just heal both of you. It's awesome.
Or
Same
the team ups that give you new moves, like Spider-Man and Venom, where Spider-Man can shit out 100 symbiote tentacles.
Yeah, the combinations are really interesting. Like I think the one that is the most interesting to me is the Thor, Storm, and Captain America one. Just
I've
because
seen that one very often.
no, but it's very strong. You get a movement boost, you get more damage, and you get like chain attacks. I think is that last one.
I think my personal favorite one is probably the Iron Man and Hulk one, because it just makes Iron Man way better.
Yeah, the fucking green blast.
Yeah, those
Ah!
green blasts are ridiculous. They do so much damage.
Hey,
Um,
Nettie's. Could you buff the Cloak and Dagger Moon Knight one?
there's a lot
Certain,
of things that could use adjustment, to be honest.
yeah, which is an interesting topic. Some adjustments that could be made to the game.
Right? I'm not really the most knowledgeable on how to balance a game like this, to be honest. I haven't really played that many games like this besides Overwatch. But I think it's honestly not in a bad place right now, because even though the characters aren't balanced, the game isn't like boxing you in to this format of 2 healers, 2 DPS, and 2 tanks. You can do really well with like 3 DPS, 2 healers, 1 tank, or you could
Yeah,
do like 2 DPS, like 3 healers and a tank.
yeah. As long as you got the healers, you should be fine.
Yeah, just don't make sure you got a healer. Don't walk out of there with no healers like an idiot. Don't be
Yeah.
like these bots who fucking auto lock DPS,
Yes.
and then you got 5 DPS characters on the team, and then it's just a terrible, terrible game for everybody.
The funniest shit that
Just
I've
don't do
ever
that, please.
the funniest thing I've encountered while we played this game is I'll lock into DPS. I'll be the first person in there. I'll select the DPS, and I see another one. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And the third one, I'm like, all right, we're pushing, guys. And then the fourth, I'm like, guys, come on. And the fifth one, and there I was like, okay, well, guess I'm playing Sprocket because I don't want to fucking lose this
You got to
game.
be the guy who has to switch, right? Because it's like, well,
Yeah,
they're not going to switch. Now I have to be healer. But at least they made the aspect of playing healer pretty fun, and they made lots of different kinds of healers too.
yeah. Um, Definitely excited to play more support when Ultron comes out. It's a very weird character to play as a support person. You'd imagine him being either like tanky or like a duelist, but a strategist is an interesting twist.
I feel like it makes sense for his character.
It does because like the nanos and things like that, but admit like
And also the
mostly like
Ultron bots, like he usually has like a swarm of robots around him and stuff. So and like even in the fucking MCU movie, right? I mean, he was like switching bodies and stuff like that to like escape. So it makes sense for his character, in my opinion. Jumping off of that though, did we want to go into our wish list for future characters? Because we do
yeah.
know that Ultron and Blade are coming. Those are the two characters that I think that got leaked that were confirmed.
The other ones that were confirmed, so we can knock it out of the way, is my queen Emma Frost.
Yeah, I think we saw the
You have
model for that one.
yeah. Mm, you have Jean Grey slash the Phoenix. Regrettably, you have Modoc.
Can't believe they're gonna put
Modoc.
MODOK in the game. That's
You
crazy.
have you have Angela, which I still struggle to understand who the fuck Angela is as a
Angela?
character. Yeah, it's like the half sister of Loki and Thor, and I'm like, okay,
I thought that
cool.
was Hela.
I know. That's so weird, right? Like, well, that's because of the movie, I believe. I think in the comics, she's like her own
Oh, yeah,
unique
you might be
person.
right about that. I might be fucking I might be wrong.
Yeah, there's a whole tangent about like in the mythos of her like actual Viking mythology that she's a daughter of Loki. But anyways, other character
Oh yeah, that's true.
Valkyrie. Valkyrie's another
Valkyrie
character.
got confirmed. Oh man,
Yeah,
that's kind of a lame
uh,
pick. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm trying to think of the top of my head
It's all
right
right.
now.
It's all right. We could just
Uh,
go into
we
the
could
wish list at this point.
the wish list. All right, so you want to kick off with your first wish list character?
I do. I wrote quite a couple down. And I
All
think the
right.
first one that makes the most sense to me that is like why isn't this character already in the game yet is Gamora. Why is
That
Gamora
is
not in the game yet?
that's so true because you have like almost like more than half of the Guardians of the Galaxies in the game.
You've got Groot, Rocket Raccoon, Mantis, Adam Warlock, and Star Lord.
Yeah, that's 5.
No Gamora? That's
I
kind of
feel like
crazy.
with that, I feel like, because she has like swords and stuff, that they're afraid she'd be too similar to Magic.
Oh yeah, magic, I guess. No, but she has like a gun and stuff too. I mean, you could do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they could find something to do with her.
She'd probably be like a duelist.
A duelist, I imagine. Um, all right, I guess it's my turn.
Yeah, I'll just go back and forth.
Yeah, I'm really coping and praying. I'm on knees out here, everyone, for fucking Ghost Rider. I think
Yeah.
Ghost Rider would be such a cool fucking
Yeah,
character.
Ghost Rider was on my list too.
Yeah, you could do an ultimate with like the chain and the fucking bike and shit. You could do the pennant stairs as a stun.
Yeah,
You
they
could do
gotta have him pulling up on the bike, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's it would have to be like a limited thing. I mean,
which
which
is
they've done
cool.
pretty well with the movement in general in this game. But yeah, he'd have to pull up on the bike for sure.
Absolutely. I feel like there's some interesting things you could do with him, being like the spirit of vengeance, going after people with the most kills in the game. Something a cool mechanic for
Yeah,
him.
he would have some kind of like stack mechanic or something like that with souls or some shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although they are bringing Human Torch in, so that might already be like the fire character. But I would like Ghost Rider. That would be a dope ass fucking pick.
I think they're different enough.
What kind of role do you think Ghost Rider would be? Because I mean, duelist is what pops to mind first, but he could also be like a hybrid, right? He could be like a tank duelist.
Yeah, he could be like Mr. Fantastic. I think that would he could probably be like a tank just because like the whole soul mechanic and he just gets more DPS,
And Ghost Rider's
I
a tough motherfucker too, so that makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, he can't die. So I think like a tank duelist would be the more interesting route to go about that. Otherwise, if he's a duelist, Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to be too picky about that.
I would like to see. Speaking of tanks, I would like to see Colossus, who got leaked but was apparently a plant, which
But
is fucked
it
up.
seems, but those plants might be real.
Well,
So
what's
the
the point of
whole thing,
planting them then?
just to fuck with people.
So messed up.
Just
In
to,
the
just
in
to,
the age of like of stuff getting leaked, I guess like what else can you do other than do shit like this?
yeah. Yeah, I feel like, more X-Men would be awesome. Bring them the fourth run. There's a lot of
Yes,
other great
more
characters.
X Men in general, please.
Yeah.
But Colossus, I think would be a great tank character. I'm not sure how unique they could make him. Um, they could also do like Juggernaut, right? I feel like those two are kind of interchangeable because they're just two big
Oh,
dudes.
really? I guess with Colossus, you could have him like reflect DPS back to people.
Oh yeah, like I mean, like kind of like Mr. Fantastic does.
Yeah, but maybe more like a passive thing. I don't know. It would be very hard to balance that. That just sounds very annoying where you just shoot at him and the shit comes back to you and you just fucking flop and
But
die.
he could also be like a hybrid because he could also be putting in some damage.
That is true. Yeah.
All right, what about you?
Um,
What's your next one?
this is going to be a weird one, but I feel like I would love to see it. Spider-Man 2099. I feel like, yes, it's a Spider-Man character, but I feel like, with the whole like Venom thing, like, the actual like Venom stuff he could, possibly stun people from healing. He would be a cool tank. There's another, big ass buff Spider-Man dude to play as. I love the costume. I feel like Miguel O'Hara is a different enough character from Peter Parker that they could do something else with them.
They
If they
definitely
did,
could make that work, but I'm gonna be honest, you're probably just gonna get a skin for that one.
I
You are
know.
probably not gonna get Miguel. If you're gonna get another Spider-Man, it's gonna be Miles Morales.
I
But
know.
you might not even get him because they've already got Penny Parker in the game too, and I feel like three Spider-Man characters when like a lot of X-Men characters and stuff like that, but they're a whole team, so it makes sense.
Yeah, they're different enough, but
I
Spider.
don't know how much different you could make Miguel O'Hara in terms of like movement, traversal, and like damage and stuff. I feel like he would be a little too similar, but I mean they could.
That's why it's on the wish list. It's on the wish list, man.
Yeah.
I know the answer, but there's a little cope
I'm
there.
sorry, I didn't mean to be like, no, that's stupid. Fuck you.
No, 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 no. It makes it. No, I've rationalized that. I was like, well, it's probably gonna be a skin. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's a crazy pick for you. Here's a pick you ain't gonna expect. You ready?
Yeah,
All right. Super Scroll.
that's not too weird of a pick. That's not too weird, but like you could do so much with Super Scroll.
And he's got so many powers. Like he could be a hybrid of like everything. He could have like a healing move. He could have a tank move. You know,
Yeah,
turn his
and I
skin into
think
the thing. You know,
and I think more villains would be nice.
in general,
Definitely, more,
yes.
yeah, definitely more villains. I was gonna say, all my other picks are like they're a little similar. I would like to see Taskmasker, and like in the sense of like copying moves. You could like just basically
That's definitely a good pick. He would be really cool in this game.
he'd be awesome. Sword and shields, copying moves. You could do like you could cop. Well, I don't because his whole shtick is that he could do really much anything besides like any like superpowers.
Yeah, he's
But
just
I
a
feel like
combat expert.
yeah,
What if
but I
it's
feel like
Taskmaster, but it's the one from the MCU movie?
I'm good. I'm good then.
This is not what I want at all.
No, I want the stupid skull mask with the goddamn pirate boots.
Yes.
What I want.
Yes. I'm gonna say Sabretooth would be pretty
Really?
similar to
That
Wolverine,
I mean that
but tank roll. Pretty good
but
tank roll.
tank roll. So Wolverine, like, which is interesting, you could have him as like a reverse kit because Wolverine is purely yes, he's a DPS, but he's excellent at isolating and killing tanks.
Yeah, he's got
You could
shitloads of armor too and survivability. So yeah, with Sabretooth you could invert it right, where it's more about the soaking up damage than it is dealing damage. Right. But he still has
you know
similar
he's
ability,
got the shenanigans where he lunges and stuff because they're feral dudes. Go ahead and have him like that.
All
But
right.
speaking about villains, I think this is an easy one. No,
For real?
no, I'm playing. I'm playing.
All
Playing.
right.
All right, all right. Carnage. Carnage. I think Carnage would be another cool character. I feel like
Yeah.
we
I've seen a lot of people ask for Carnage is the thing, and it's like it's just another Miguel O'Hara situation though, where it's like that would be super cool, and I would not have a problem with that. But how different could you make Carnage
from
from
Venom.
Venom and Spider Man?
Well, the whole thing with Carnage is that, you could do what you could do is you could have him as Cletus Cassidy, like, Bruce Banner and Hulk, and then have him turn into Carnage. And his whole thing is about making weapons and stuff. Because, that's his whole
Wow.
shtick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's an interesting idea.
yeah, your whole shtick is like, you have like the symbiote axes and like blades and things like that, scythes. So you could do a lot of things. Like one weapon could be more of a projectile, one thing could be more of like, soaking up damage, and the other could just be, up close damage. So I think there's a couple things it could do with Carnage. Have him as a serial killer. In this game, I'm pretty sure they're not going to have him like talk about murdering people,
Probably
but
not.
probably not. But I think Carnage could be interesting enough, and more villains would be nice.
I'll get a red skin for Venom.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Okay. Another character who needs why isn't this character in the game? Daredevil. Where's Daredevil?
I was going to say Daredevil next. Absolutely,
That's so funny.
Daredevil is such a fucking easy pick. Like, dude, come on, that would be so fucking kick ass.
Easy ass duelist.
Easy duelist. You could have him have like see through walls and stuff as like his passive. The
That
baton
would be
pass.
so crazy.
Yeah, because again, like iconic Marvel's character, Daredevil not being the game. Yeah, he could be a little similar to Iron Fist, but it's Daredevil. His
But
whole
he's got the baton things,
he's got the baton
like the
things, and
little wire between. They're like nunchucks.
I think another character being able to run on walls would be sick as fuck.
He would be completely melee too.
Oh yeah. Well, you could do some range stuff with the batons, like even like because they have like the chains attached to them, so you could
Yeah,
do
you
like a
would have
little,
some kind of range move.
not like 20 feet, going across the map, hitting this loot of snow in the head and clocking her out.
um, Luke Cage. Give me Luke
Another
Cage.
another character that I'm like, why is he not here? He would definitely be a tank.
Just pull
I
up,
think
start beating ass with the chain.
because I know like one thing is like his skin is like super impenetrable, so and he like heals
Yeah, he's
super fast.
basically Tombstone.
He's
Tombstone like
Tombstone.
stole his powers basically.
I feel like one thing you can do with Luke Cage is that like you take damage and you could heal from it, which is a weird enough. Like that sounds really kind of busted, but I feel like that makes sense for the character. And you could have an awesome Power Man outfit. The
Yeah,
shit would be
he
awesome.
would absolutely be a tank, and it would definitely be like a defensive tank, more focused on damage absorption as opposed to like a dive tank like Venom or Penny Parker or something like that.
Yeah,
And for his ultimate, he pulls out like the brass knuckles.
yeah, and just starts going ape shit. Beating people up. Got it, and just caving in
He
heads.
takes his belt off and starts beating your ass with it. You got another one?
I've been saving this one for last. I don't think you're ready for this one.
I'm ready. Lay it on.
The Silver Surfer.
Yes. Yes, that's a good pick.
I feel like, there's not enough aerial characters that we have because we only have what? Iron Man, Storm,
Storm. And we're going to get the Human Torch soon.
and the Human Torch at some point.
That's going to be 3. I don't know, though, because, like, with the amount of characters that fly, I feel like it's dangerous to add too many of those because, I mean, we're going to have 3, which is the possibility of 3 flying characters on a team.
That is true, but
But that might not be that good, honestly. Because they're
no,
all
no.
DPS anyway, so.
And they relatively have to stand still to shoot damage.
Most of the time.
Or most of the time. Or you could just knock them out of the air with the Winter Soldier fucking special attack.
What kind of class do you think Silver Surfer would be?
That's an interesting one because yes, you would probably say duelist, but I think he would be more of like a strategist because like the cosmic healing and shit,
Yeah.
cosmic rays.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, and also, the game is narrated by Galactus's daughter. So
Galactica, yeah.
I mean that figures.
Yeah. Just easy way, have a cool ass character, butt naked, all silver, flying around.
But naked, all silver.
I'm all for it.
If you could pick one of the characters you suggested, one of your wish list characters got to make, but none of the other ones did, who is it going to be?
Ghost Rider.
Yeah. I kind of figured that was going to be the case. I mean, he's just, the swag factor is just at 11 with Ghost Rider, so that's, it's pretty obvious. Here's my final pick, though. My final pick. If I got to pick one character to get into the game, it would be Cable. Give me Cable and make Cable a support DPS hybrid, like some kind of hybrid, right?
Yeah.
With his different guns and technology and shit. He could definitely have some kind of healing ray, and then you could like switch up to a machine gun that has like rockets or something like that. I mean, there's 100 things you can do with Cable. He's all just guns and technology. So.
And one thing you could do, I feel like it would be very hard to pull off, is like the time travel thing.
Oh man, yeah, that would be crazy.
Yeah, I feel like that would probably be the ult. In some way, it like reverts, like,
Yeah, because that's like a support feature, right? I mean, like a res, kind of like Adam Warlock, because then you could have another person who does res stuff. Rocket can do it with the armory thing, but that's only for one person, right? So it's like, hey, rewind time. Maybe like in this area, and it's like whoever died in this area comes back.
Yeah, or maybe like, if no one died, all your abilities are refreshed or something. Something crazy.
That would be a really interesting idea.
Yeah.
I think the time travel stuff would definitely make for very cool.
We're just giving you ideas, Net Easy.
Yeah.
It's just up to you to put them in the game.
I'm sure they probably already have 100 characters listed out, because I mean, as successful as this game is being, I would imagine there will be a lot of characters in the future.
Oh yeah, man.
Even if it takes a long time for all of them to come out.
I'll be there. I'll be there for 5 years waiting on Ghost Rider. I'll be the first in line. First waiting for the update. I'll install it. I'll be a Ghost Rider main. Nothing more, nothing less. Never playing as anyone else ever again.
I can't wait for Ultron to come out.
I'm excited for Ultron.
Because I will also be playing Ultron whenever you are not playing Ultron.
I love the design they have for him. He looks scary as fuck. He's swagged out.
And I like that it's a support character that's not like a girl or like a cute little shark or like a more effeminate design. It's nice that there's like a support character that gets to be like a cool badass guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It will appeal to more people, right? And you'll get more people playing support when Ultron comes out. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no.
Make more swag support characters so that more people will play support. Rocket Raccoon is good. Adam Warlock is good. Loki is great, right? Loki's great to me because his support is not like, he's not extensively like a healer. He's like a backline harasser, and like he has like the clone shenanigans. So it's like, you can make support characters that have a healing aspect, because that's really important, right? I mean, I feel like you gotta have that, like they all do, but also has a focus on a secondary type of play style.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
That's why I think
is good.
Cable would be the fucking best, dude.
Yeah. You're talking about flying characters and being a strategist. Ultron is going to fly.
Oh shit, yeah, that makes sense. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, he's going to fly and shit.
And I think I saw they leaked his kit at some point, and he's got like, his ultimate revolves around like drones that heal or something like that.
That's one of his like feature things, but I think the ultimate, it does like because I think one's offensive and one's defensive, and the big drone does both. I think that's what it is.
I can't wait. That's gonna be such a fun character to play as.
It's going to happen in like 3 fucking months.
Yeah, it's during the next season though, so I mean,
Yeah.
That's sooner rather than later.
And Blade at the beginning of next season is going to drop.
Yeah, that'll be cool too.
Blade's going to be sick.
Should have been Morbius, honestly.
Missed opportunity.
Morbius has way more pull than Blade.
Imagine Morbius in the fucking game.
That would be kind of lit, honestly. I can't even like they've done such a good job that I feel like you could put a lot of people in this game. I mean, they put fucking Jeff the Land Shark. Like, I didn't even know what that was before this game. And like everybody knows who Jeff the Land Shark is now.
now. Yeah, little fucking shark, little land thing. Everyone knows him for his notorious fucking ults of grabbing your entire team on cap and suicide diving off the cliff,
They better
killing
fix
them
that.
by
They better find a way to fix that. Like if
dude.
you fall off the cliff or something, then the kills don't count or something. I don't know. That's fucked up. I hate that.
I think what it is like if you jump up in the air
Yes, absolutely. If
above
you're
where it
above the fucking ground, he shouldn't be able to get you. Because that's bullshit. Because I'll be doing like a Venom web swing, or I'll be trying to like fly away with a character that flies, and he'll still just swallow you up, bro.
Yeah, because it's definitely a big, play, when you do that. However, if you're not like zipping the fuck out of there, you can't do too much. You got to do a lot of like animation buggy shit to like not get sucked up by it. And clearly, if you have to go around these parameters of like animation canceling during the ultimate to prevent you from not dying, something's going wrong.
Exactly. But
So
I'm really excited for this game's future, and
yeah,
I hope it doesn't squander its potential like Overwatch did.
me too, man. There's a lot of things they could do. More maps, and I think definitely more maps is going to be a thing. But I would love to see more playing different game modes. I am curious to see what they could do.
Something more
Maybe
unique, right?
yeah, maybe have like an event kind of thing. Like a PVE kind of event thing. It would be hard to do, but I think that could give some longevity to that game.
So it
Just
would it would be an easy slap in the mouth to Overwatch again. Because they promised PVE content, and then they were like, no,
never did.
no, I don't know. Sorry.
But I wanted to track back about characters and their kits. Can we talk about the one character when you see someone pull up and they're going to fucking throw the entire fucking match?
Black Widow.
It's Black Widow.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen videos online of people being really good with Black Widow, but I've never seen a Black Widow good in a game. So
I was gonna say, where is that Black Widow? Where are they at? I don't see anyone
in
proficient or
Grandmaster rank or whatever the fucking competitive,
yeah,
they're not
yeah,
playing
like
quick play. If you're playing quick play and somebody picks Black Widow, I'm just saying, most of the time they're ass.
PSA, you're throwing the match. Please switch the healer if you're going to play as Black Widow. You might as well.
Or just a better DPS, dude. I mean, there's like, even if you're playing Spider-Man, like, I mean, I've seen a lot of good Spider-Mans, He's got to work really hard, but at least he has, like, good, useful abilities. I feel like Black Widow is just a detriment to the team.
I've
Unless
probably
you're an insane sniper.
I've only died to maybe Black Widow once, and then once to her super the entire time I've played this game.
Shit, fuck dying to it, dude. We had played like 30 hours, and I had never seen the super. I had never seen anybody do it. I'd never heard the call out. So when she said, what, like plasma burst or whatever, I was like, what the fuck is that? I thought it was like a different window on my computer. I didn't even think it was in the game.
Dude, because what happens is it whips all the fucking time. She's like, plasma burst! And I'm like, where the fuck did it go?
Also, she's
And
so squishy that you can just blow her up.
yeah, I'm like, yeah. Nice try. Uh-huh. Awesome. Great whiff. Type in the chat. Good one. Lol.
It's like a Scarlet Witch ult, but it doesn't kill anybody, and it's like, what?
It's a fart.
So,
You literally farted.
some of the ults are just not good in this game too. Like, maybe not good isn't the right word, but they're so much worse than other ults on characters that are even in the same like archetype. Like Venom's fucking ult where he just does the big chomp. Yeah, you get armor and it does half of somebody's health, but like so many other characters just get like raw people deleters.
Yeah. Star-Lord is a people deleter.
Yeah,
Scarlet
just
Witch,
fly up in the air and fucking auto aim on everybody,
the Goon Knight's Claw of Khonshu.
which is just a giant AoE of damage.
Kraken Impact, best ult in the game.
Which is insane.
It's
You could just
insane.
get it back over and over and over.
Most delicious. The Punisher's one. Yeah, I mean, like again, like the Thor one. Like, what the fuck does that like? You just do damage.
But it's not even like good damage, and it's like it's so situational because with the Thor one, Thor is also a really fun tank to play, but his ult is just ass. Like you can fly up in the air in an area that's like really open because the higher you fly, the bigger the circle beneath you gets that does AoE damage. But so many of the progressive routes where you have to like escort a payload or something, go through like small enclosed spaces and buildings. So his ult is so situational when a lot of other people just get ults that just get rid of everybody.
Yeah, and a lot of people still struggle to like with there's a thing I've noticed with the Magneto ult. Most people don't know how to use it. It is purely a counter, super, if that makes any sense. You have
It
to like
does damage, but its main purpose is to eat projectiles.
yeah, like if Iron Man is pulling up with the burst impact, you gotta absorb that shit. But most people say, feel the power of Magneto, and it's a fart. It's like, oh,
And then
and
they
then
get like half the damage on one guy, and then he just gets healed.
yeah, and then you see fucking Iron Man plasma burst, and just the entire team dies, and you're like, okay, I really wish the Magneto would have saved that shit.
Yeah, I mean, PSA, just play more characters in general, people. Like, I know everybody likes playing as Wolverine and Spider-Man and the Punisher, and I know that there's like an horribly unfair ratio that's like 60% DPS characters while there's 8 tanks. But just learn to play one other archetype, please. Just learn how to play a tank or a healer. You don't got to play all three. Just stop loading into matches and doing 5 DPSs.
I think
Stop
those
doing that.
I think that was a really nice way of saying about, don't play characters, but in truth, don't play Spider-Man if you can't play Spider-Man.
I
Just give
mean,
up.
if you're gonna put in, just give up. It's crazy. If you can put in the work, Spider-Man can be really good. But you
Yeah.
gotta work way harder with Spider-Man than you do with most other characters.
Yeah. Before I hopped on, I was playing with my brother, and he is Spider-Man. That motherfucker is Spider-Man. We're playing on the Wakanda map, and he was just in the back spawn, just dealing with the entire team. And the rest of the team and I were just standing near the doors looking at him. We're like, holy shit, dude.
That's the thing, right? He like you gotta. I mean, he's kind of freakishly talented to be honest, but you gotta practice to get good with a lot of these characters. Like I said, there's so much depth to these kits that you can really crack it open and just pull off some insane crazy plays. I mean, I've seen videos of people playing as Spider-Man where they'll like web people up and then just yank them off the edge.
Yeah. This shit's awesome.
Incredibly clean movement, right? Because the web swinging is so like a lot better in this game than it is in the Avengers game.
I know. That's the one thing that this game has over that. This game, the movement is phenomenal with the characters that have movement-based kits. That shit's so fucking awesome.
They're also unique and appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game is an absolute. Honestly, just try it out. I mean, it's free. What do you have to lose? Just a really great, awesome team-based game. I'm really happy that this pulled up and stole Overwatch's lunch money because it's also way more fun to play. I get to play as Venom, and I don't like Activision Blizzard. So
Yeah.
not my very controversial opinion. I know.
I know. Whoa, man. Whoa. Are you sure you could say that?
Yeah. So good to not support them either. But I mean, even though I liked Overwatch, I haven't played it in such a long time because the game changed so radically. So I do hope this game can learn from the mistakes of Overwatch and continue on this trajectory because it's really fun to play. And I think more people should check it out, even though I'm pretty sure anybody who clicked on this video is already playing this game. So
Yeah, we'll keep enjoying the game. Keep giving love to NetEase. They're relatively new. They're working on a couple other projects. One of them fortunately being Destiny Rising, but we'll see how that goes. Hopefully they make a bunch of money with that, because, people love, eating their Destiny content.
this
And
game has already made them back
oh
way
yeah,
more
dude.
money than they will need.
Dude, once they get both of those games, oh my god. Once they have more characters, things like that, NetEase is on their way to being a powerhouse in the gaming studios or the gaming industry, my bad.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for joining us again. Little bit of a shorter episode today. My co-host is going to be going on a vacation, so we won't be filming next week, but we are going to get right back at you. I think next time we might be taking a look at that Nosferatu movie, maybe.
Perhaps.
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 I mean,
you might hear something about Nosferatu.
Perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like I said, thank you all for pulling up. We look forward to recording these every week. Please check us out on Spotify and on YouTube. Give us a rating on there; it really helps out a lot. Leave us a comment if there's anything you want to see us cover. And yeah, we will see you all next time.
Bye.